All right, we're we're good. Are you good? There we are. All fired up. What's up, guys? It is Wednesday and CPI numbers are in. Inflation is cooling. It's probably the narrative you're going to hear all week, despite the CPI not really showing a cooling inflation. Year over year, down 0.1% from 3.4 to 3.3%. Hardly cooling, but I have this feeling with the revisions in the job market this month and the revisions for the last 2 months, something tells me that the Fed cut boys are going to be back. We're going to be hearing a lot of we're going to get a cut. And honestly, who knows? The Fed should not cut. The Fed doesn't have a real reason to cut, but we have not really seen Warsh's true colors yet. Despite saying that the Fed will basically raise interest rates if inflation is hot, and then saying inflation is hot and has been hot, Warsh didn't raise rates. It's possible that they're waiting for September. I think that's the likelihood. However, with this CPI print, and now people likely gonna, I'm telling you, we're gonna hear this all week. CPI, inflation's cooling. Go look at the numbers. Inflation, I mean, I don't know how you could call that cooling, especially after some of the biggest numbers that we've had in years in the last few months. I don't know. But markets are reacting. We have some really interesting charts today. Coreweave opened 20% up. We've been looking at this chart for the better part of a week now. Opened up 20%, hit 111 on the open this morning, now down to 107. Closed yesterday at about 90. That is a massive gain. Massive gain. It's not alone. There are other assets seeing some pretty spicy days, and we're going to cover those as well. We're going to get more in depth on both Coreweave and these other ones I'm bringing up here. SpaceX testing new highs, trading above the IPO 135 price. To my surprise, honestly, I didn't expect this to stay here. Putting in higher highs again today, likely at this point, I'll say, looking for about 150, back to that VWAP from the traded volume from its NASDAQ listing. That's roughly 150, like 152, probably be 150 by the time it gets there. This is also the previous support that it found late in June before it lost it in July and fell to new all-time lows. I think this is the logical move. SpaceX, if it doesn't reject here, looking for about 150. I don't have high hopes that it's going to trade much higher, at least in the short term. If somehow the Fed does cut rates, things are going to get really weird. I think a lot of the downward forecasts can be revised, at least in the short term. That's likely to fuel a rally in the market, but I don't believe it will be a sustainable or honestly a healthy rally, likely to see inflation basically just outpace everything in the scenario that the Fed really just throws its mandates out the window and decides it's just going to do what it wants. Just wants to, I don't know, ignore the data, ignore the fiscal environment of the global fiscal environment and just cut rates because they want to. That'll be a pretty big deviation from the Fed's history and likely to set just global unrest and global uncertainty when it comes to the U.S. Federal Reserve. The one thing that the Federal Reserve probably should be is a source of certainty. So choppy times ahead. But if it's going to be choppy times, I guess let's ride some of these upward waves of momentum and upward prices. Coreweave is going to be the big topic of today. We do have, like I said, SpaceX, gold having a little bit of a day. My shorts on gold are still alive, but man, it's getting sketchy here. Gold at basically the upside target, 4,400, and now a higher high again today. It has broken its downtrend, and gold is potentially targeting higher. If this doesn't reject here, I think we're going to be basically looking for a $5,000 gold again. I really didn't see this coming. I really still don't believe it, but maybe this is also off kind of this interest rate euphoria that we're likely to see here. That's what I'm thinking. S&P making a topping pattern. I don't know about that. Actually, when you look at indices, I don't know about a topping pattern. Let's just jump over to NASDAQ. Actually, right where we left it, the long did fill. I was talking about how NASDAQ looks very similar to how it looked on its recovery earlier this year in March. With the sell-off, nice V-shaped recovery and brought us to new all-time highs. It had a little bit of a pause below the high before ripping, and I think that's likely what's happening here. That long in profit a little bit. About 1% up since we placed that. Still looking to retest those highs. I don't know. I don't see that weakness, at least the same way that we had been. SPX, I'm going to go on the same boat. SPX looking strong. S&P broke to all-time highs in August. It's flagging out again, similar to, I'll say, what it did earlier in June and July. This was sketchier, I'd say, than even the price action here, but flagging out again. Currently at 7,741. I think the upside target was, like 8K. Yeah, 8K for the measured move target. This is just more of the same. Really, I think it's all just off the back of this, like, hopefully short-lived interest rate cut euphoria. We all kind of thought that after Warsh's speech at the FOMC, I think we all kind of thought, man, it does sound like they're trying to find a way to game it to have cuts. And I'll be damned. It's getting closer to reality. It's looking like it. S&P up at round all-time highs. No huge reaction yet from the S&P off of today's CPI numbers, but still very healthy, still looking bullish. I don't think there's much to worry about there. I think upside is in its future. Even the Qs, there's really the exact same thing going on. Just like NASDAQ, you had the V-shaped recovery here, taking a little break. I'll call it accumulation. Little flag. I think that you're looking to retest highs unless, I don't know, what, in the next week or two, whenever Bretton Woods is, to figure that out. We hear Warsh say something unexpected. I kind of doubt it. Seems like into September, it's going to be the first potential reality check here that we could have, considering I don't think we have much more big data. What do we got? We got U.S. core PCE month over month again on August 26th. There we go. Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is the 27th, 28th, and 29th. Yeah, but then we have to get into September till we get any more big numbers. So outside of Wednesday the 26th, core PCE price index month over month, we have nothing. This was the final big data of the month. There is no FOMC. Bretton Woods is, and we watch it every year, unlikely to be the biggest catalyst, but September. We're peeking back into September. I even think some of these charts that were looking bearish, potentially looking for some reversal. SanDisk here retesting again this same resistance. It has broken its downtrend, retesting 1,430. I think it's looking to retest it again. Each test at that level, weakening, making additional tests in the future more likely to break out. Certainly is not the strongest SanDisk has looked, but it has had extreme weakness, honestly, since the beginning of July. Here we are now, potentially painting some kind of reversal, something. I actually don't hate this at all. Money flow just rolling over here on the day. Momentum, big old, I'll say like inverse head and shoulders here on momentum. I think there is a lot pointing up. SanDisk may be like a breakout play this week. If you see it trade above 1,432, it might be worth a long, at least up to 1,700, potentially higher depending, but 1,700 I think would be a solid little, cheeky little 18% there, I think. Not so bad. Nebis, what's a Nebis, my friend? GM Legends, how you doing, Crunk? What's up, Das Peach? Dude, this market has broken my hopes and my dreams and my soul. Mostly my soul. Little rehash on Google. Apparently, I should just trade Google because Google, somehow, we've had just the best trades. You've watched back-to-back-to-back winning trades on Google live on this channel. Here we go. There's a 17% take. Hold up. Let me update this. 17% take. We've longed both of these local bottoms and then now shorted the top, aging really well. I know Pickle was on this trade. Let's go, brother. Let's go, my friend. 338, logical target at this point. It's all but here. We're looking for about a 10% downside, 10% drawdown from 374 down to 338, and now it's trading at 341. Kind of looks in time to test that higher low and reverse and head back to 370 to join the Fed cut inflation euphoria. Maybe we can throw a trade on there again, something like that. I can't believe this has just hit so well. If this does play out, Google likely has a rather bullish midterm ahead of it, maybe the next 3 months to year and a half, as it'll have painted an extremely strong inverse head and shoulders, maybe playing out something like this. It is rare you see a pattern so clean. Now, it hasn't finished, so it is too early to call this a completed clean pattern, but it has all the elements right here. It's very much respecting the neckline at 370. I think that this is a really high probability trade, maybe one of the most high probability trades we've had here in some time. Remember, not financial advice. Take your own risks, win your own rewards, but do it on your own conscience, do it on your own analysis, not mine. At this point, I don't even know. Looking at SanDisk and Micron, they're just the same chart, it seems. Micron, exact same. I think SMC had a big day. Super microcomputer. Retesting that same high around 925. Higher lows. I think we're looking for a breakout on Micron. And I said this on Monday's stream. If you see SanDisk or Micron breakout, one or the other without... if you see one breakout but not the other, likely you're going to see the other follow. So potentially, that's going to be confluence for our little breakout on SanDisk. I don't hate that. I don't hate it at all. They both look really good. Oil completed its golden cross on the week. Nothing going on here, even though the war is never going to end. The strait's never going to be open. Oil's just trucking along here at 82. That is a crazy bullish cross. The last time we saw this, I think it was back in like August of 21. It led to a pretty meaningful rally. Something tells me this one's going to hit a little bit harder. No update on oil at this point, other than I'm watching it closely. I think it's kind of crazy to look short on it. No trade is likely the position for those not interested or confident in a long. I think no trade is probably the way to go. Silver, gold. What else we got here? Bitcoin has done very little. Again, don't really have much to update on Bitcoin. 63.8 is the 200-week moving average. We've closed below it. We are trading below it again today. Looks like kind of a double top here locally on the daily, but there is no update. This is completely range bound. There is no change here on the chart whatsoever. At this point, it feels like it's never going to happen. The 200-day moving average is at 70,000. That is likely the target if we see a shakeup in price action and we have a pump out of this pattern. Likely to see 70,000 tested. Trading heavily above 70,000 can be a very strong bullish indicator for the midterm. But that's just seems infinitely far away. Everything seems infinitely far away on Bitcoin at this point. As it has been, the 200-week right here about where price is probably the dump line, basically hanging out here, closing meaningfully below it, likely signaling a next leg down. I wish it would pump. Could we just pump? We got over this BIP 110 thing. Let's just pump now. We don't need it anymore. What's up, D-Lo? How you doing, Queen Finn? God, I need it. I don't think I've ever seen... I haven't even looked at Bitcoin's fear and greed because there doesn't even seem to be like a point of looking at it at this. It's like, no matter what it says, you don't need to look at it. It's not even that it's scary. It's just that it's so boring. It's nothing. Look at the 3-month chart for fear and greed. We have been in this range since June. We have been like between 31 and 12. No, 8 and 31. Over the last year, we've had a total of what? 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, maybe 8, 9, under 10 days in the last year that have been anything but neutral or fear. This has got to be the longest running fear streak ever. And again, it's not even that it's scary. I don't know. I think at this point, everyone's just kind of like accepted. It's like, well, probably going to see more dumping. Probably not going to see much happen in the short term. And it's like acceptance. I don't even think it's fear. I don't feel fear anymore. It was scarier, honestly, than February. Maybe even in like the 1st of June. But like, those were such fleeting moments where nothing really happened. Finally making a stream. There he is, Nimoy. How you doing, brother? What's up, Joey Trump? By the way, if you're here today, I need you to say hello in the chat. Hit the like button, tap the screen, subscribe. Join the fam. We're live here daily. We've been live on the tubes for 7 years. We'll be live, God knows. At this pace with Bitcoin forever. Forever we'll be live streaming here because we'll just be stuck in time. What's up, Ross, Bullish Crypto, Tom G's? What's up, bro? Old Goonie, how you doing, man? Diego, AZM, Latina, J. What's up, Wagley again? McGenius, Pokesar. How you boys doing? How ya boys doing? GME breaking down. Ben Cohen says it ends in October, November. I mean, we've been saying that too. I mean, I think everyone thinks that. It's not really a unique Ben Cohen concept. I think Ben Cohen's just the only person that almost anyone is still like paying attention to in crypto. That's really what it is. October, November, the end of the year, but it's like absolutely the expected move. Absolutely. Absolutely. GME is breaking down as expected, heading to 1750 if it can hold that. 1.8 billion in dilution when it comes to GME shares was announced. Honestly, if it can even hold 1750, I'd be surprised. I honestly think GME is going back to at least not like $10. This chart looks terrible. 2024 was similar to crypto, just disappointing. Rally didn't even go close to the previous high. Actually, it was down 50% from the previous high in 2021. Lower high. This looks like distribution, seeking lower prices. Man, I don't even know if $10 is low enough, to be honest. I kind of think it's going to break its low. We'll keep the Doomium. We'll keep the Doomium for later. Eclipse stream. Is it the Eclipse today? Right now. You really pay attention to Tom Crown? Mr. Dinkle's here. Go. Goated. Is there an Eclipse today? Isn't oh, is it which Eclipse? I remember there was one in August. August 12th. Total solar eclipse. Today. Path of totality. Greenland, Iceland, northern Spain, and parts of Russia. Partly visible across parts of Western Europe, Northwest Africa, parts of Northeastern North America. Hey. Hey. Did it already happen? Are we already done? I see there's like people streaming it, but the streams are over. Where is it visible? It will not be visible as a total eclipse in the United States. Did anybody see it? I know we have viewers from all over the world. Anybody catch a glimpse? 1:15 to 2:15 p.m. East. But it's not total. Solar eclipses occur during the new moon phase, of course, yes. Nah, at least here in Portugal. Europe has been confirmed to be AI. That is a funny statement, Dilo. I actually really like that. What's up, Dave Digital? What's up, Mike Vollmer? Good to see you, my friend. I feel like I haven't caught you on the live in quite a bit, Mike. The Mod King. Undisputed Mod King. I think it's time for another position, another live setup. Another live setup on CRWV. Coreweave. Coreweave is definitely the name of a crypto. That's why I'm having so much trouble. We're going to do that next. What's up, Baller, Jor, D Brown, Ian, Daryl? What's up, my friends? Ann. What solar eclipse? Wait, what? CERN is closed? Is that real? Are they related? What's up, Matt Grimes? Happens in 2 hours? All right. Make sure to catch it if you can. Don't look directly at it. Doesn't even need to be said. How you doing, Chris Specs? Doesn't need to be said, but apparently it does because people stare at it. It will blind you. The sun is a deadly laser. Don't stare at it. What's up, Philly Skills? How you doing? Coreweave was a miner that pivoted. I'm pretty sure Coreweave was a crypto. Yep, you're correct. Boom, you got me. Well done, Quicker. It's a cryptocurrency mining operation. Yep, started in 2017. You're correct. Dominance is about to tank. We'll take a look at dominance next. Look at it on the ground at about 1:50 p.m. East. Dang. Too bad I'm not going to be able to see it. What states solar eclipse visible today? Now you got me totally off topic, but it's a good one. Honestly, we'll take it. We're going to look at Coreweave here again in a second, do the full rundown. All right. States with partial visibility. We got Alaska, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, D.C., West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Kind of looks like minimal visibility. The best views today are going to be in Alaska and Maine. Doesn't look like it'll be super visible on the East Coast. That's all right. Yo. 1:30 p.m. East. What's up, Blake? Coreweave. What's up, Twin, Mason, Dario, Riemann? Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribing, tapping the likes. We're gonna have some nice weather. I don't know. It's been storming for like 2 weeks now. Feels like summer's over. We're gonna look at Coreweave, then I'll look at dominance. I haven't looked at Bitcoin dominance. Can't even tell you how long it's been. Too long. Coreweave, we already kind of talked about. We brushed over it. Let's take a deeper look. Oh, yeah. Did open 20% today on, I believe, strong earnings. An ex-cryptocurrency miner turned AI data center. Revenue at $2.58 billion. Versus $1.2 billion a year ago. Their net loss widened to $626 million. Operating expenses at 2.62 adjusted. Shares jumped negative. What? So wait, that can't be right. That's okay. These AI like literal splurbs are always so terrible. However, Coreweave did a pretty nice technical job here. It was able to open above all of its major moving averages. It has a solid bullish cross setup on these dailies. I was pointing this out before we saw this move happen, that these were some pretty interesting moving averages as Coreweave rallied to the 200-day, held its lows, and we saw the 20 begin to cross up, looking for a more sustained move. Opening up here is probably the best possible thing it could have done from a bullish sense. It was able to skip over the 20 and 50 weekly averages at $97-ish. So we have the daily moving averages and the weekly moving averages all around this price, all at about 90. It's like 93 to 98. And we were considering this the largest area of resistance in general. There was a good probability that it was going to reject from there just due to that liquidity. But opening above it sets it up for actually a pretty interesting technical move, I think. Over here. Boom. Here we are. Opening above it and obviously selling off right now definitely sets it up for something cool here. The VWAP, the volume average weighted price. So basically the moving average weighted for volume instead of for time. In my opinion, a better measure of averages, sits untested at 100. I think Coreweave likely has 2 potential entries in the short term, and maybe 3 if we get a really excited momentum-driven pump this week. The first of which is going to be sitting right at that VWAP at about $100. That's a 6% move to the downside from current price. I think that a patient trader will be able to make a very sneaky, cheeky long position. On top of that, would be a little bit lower. Now, this one would be more problematic and probably wouldn't give you quite the same upside targets. Down at 93, if Coreweave is to lose the VWAP and trade below 100, potentially going back to those daily moving averages down here, I think a long scalp play could be done from like 93 back to 100. But I think ideally you don't want that to happen. I think the ideal outcome would be for Coreweave to kind of swerve these entries, come down to 100, find support at the VWAP, and move up to its descending trend line. This would be its 3rd test of this descending trend line. Last time it was here was May of 26, early May of this year. And from there, I think an intelligent trader could look for a short position, especially if the VWAP at 100 has not been tested. There's likely short potential. 12% drawdown is pretty hefty. Likely short potential back to the VWAP. This chart is kind of crazy when you're zoomed out. This is a big descending triangle. Descending triangles do have an upward breakout bias. However, you do tend to see them play out longer than you're comfortable with. It's totally possible that this does look to retest the bottom trend as well. It's 60 over, I'd say, like the course of a year plus. But for now, especially with this open, I think the upside is the direction we should be looking for. 126. Can get a more bold long up to this height. 125. I like it. Just about that. Oh, that's juicy. Juicy. Come on down. Give us these fills. That would be such a good trade. What's up, 𝐓𝐫𝐍, Jonathan, Tedrick, Jared? How are you? You boys gonna stare at the sun today? You should. SpaceX, yep. We did go over SpaceX. We can look at it again. What's up, Krishna? Krishna. We're gonna do Bitcoin dominance here. Dude, you guys get not financial advice. You got to make your own minds. You got to do your own analysis. Please never blindly copy me. I'm just a dude. Just a dude who's been trading, but I really, really like this setup. I really like this setup. Please give us 100. Like, this would be so legit. I think you either get this or somehow it doesn't hold and you come down here. And then you can see if there's actual buyers there. I really like either of these setups. What do you guys think? Is this thing on? No. It is not on. What's up, One House? Big pump everywhere. Everywhere except for crypto. Except for Bitcoin. Everything else is pumping. We have gone over quite a few already. I wanted to take a look at Bitcoin dominance only because we have not looked at it in a very long time. I'm going to subtract Tether dominance from it. Because it looks like it's ready to dump its brains out. I mean, it looks bad. I don't know if it's ready to dump its brains out, but it looks bad. Ooh, we have more alerts. We'll have to check in on those. Bitcoin dominance finding resistance at previous support from Q1 of this year at about 50.7%. Lower high after last month. Sliver of a candle here. This is definitely a weak, year or two. This from June of 25, year plus. Lower highs, lower lows, grinding down. Idea. There's 100, damn, right there. Weekly, it looks garbage here. Bearish engulfing the previous week. This has just moved so slow. It's hard to really think, you know, like now is the time it's going to nuke any other time. You know, like right here, July, the end of July, it should have nuked. And bullish engulfed. Now we're bearish engulfed. This is just like equally slow moving to Bitcoin. I will give you this. Maybe this is a little worse on the technical side. You already painted a lower high here into August. Breaking your low of July, the end of July, about 50.23% is definitely a very compelling bearish pattern. Yeah, there's just nothing good about it. Could be ready. I wonder what that would look like, right? Bitcoin dominance tends to dump when Bitcoin USD goes up. Doesn't really seem like that's about to happen. If you look at just the regular BTCD chart, it's just looked equally terrible. I don't know, this entire run. Like entirety of like this bear market has been just right here. Extremely correlated with Bitcoin's price. Since right about here, February of this year. Yeah, I don't see anything new here. It's just like looking at Bitcoin USD. It's just like nothing new still. Yay. Huzzah. I don't know. CBRS. Who asked me to look at that the other day? CBRS is pumping. Above 250. I mean, it was down at like 230 maybe when we were looking at it. Probably pumping with the rest of kind of NASDAQ right now. Next upside resistance. I mean, opened right below 250. Probably looking at 275. 275 likely the 618 to retracement. There it is. I don't see a super opportunity to get into this, which is going to make it rough. Maybe if you see a back test of 250. Potentially even like a little lower. Can look to ride that up. Nothing's very clean there. I guess 250 would have to be it. Up to 275. What's up, Nicholas? Pichu, Carrie T. 4Z, John Mayer. What's up, Lee Daly? PACB stock. What's up, the Jedi? CBRS all-time low coming soon, he says. What about it gives you that vibe? I don't know anything about this chart. I don't know anything about it, but none of it looks weak. None of it is giving me all-time low vibes, honestly. Yeah, do like that or potentially down here. Let's come back. Not a lot of movement there. Well, a lot of movement there, but really just right to resistance. I think the most logical, probable thing is up 275, back down to 250. What's up, Kenneth Zihu? This month red. It's not red. It's pretty green right now. It's up 30%. I don't know anything about this anyway. Put the needle on the record. Scratch it. Like button. Where's the love button? It's right here in my heart. What's up, D-Lo? Dave Digital. Want some bass. That's what I love about you, Dave. One more lower high for you for Bitcoin, probably. I think this is it. I think that's the play. Then low in October, November. Mr. Jack Trader followed and liked. Thank you, man. I think for Bitcoin, yeah. I think it's 𝐂𝐻 I hate to be bearish. We've been trading Bitcoin for live 7 years. And throughout almost none of that time I've ever been bearish, but some of that was just my inexperience in trading. And kind of having my blinders on. I'm always bullish on Bitcoin, but that's long term. But Bitcoin has spent an incredible amount of time during those 7 years not going up. I still believe in its future. I need to see it prove this 4-year cycle wrong. So far, it's just perfectly on track. It's like it hasn't deviated in the slightest. So it's hard to do. Of course, Mr. Jack Trader liked and followed, but they're a scammer. Remember, guys, nobody can help you recover your losses. That's not a thing. No such thing. What's up, Larry? Thanks for following, brother. Yeah, there's no such thing. What's up, Mr. Slippers? What would that even mean? Recover your losses. Like, what does that even mean? Tom, brother, Bitcoin zero. All investor money loss. Krishna, you are a strange one. So you think you've called for this to go down? No, this to go down to all-time low. I call for Bitcoin to zero. I don't know about that, bro. I think this is more likely to go zero than Bitcoin. You've got an imagination. Imagine that. What else we got here? We've looked over most things. We looked over gold, looked at SpaceX, we looked at oil briefly, Micron, SanDisk, Google, Monad. There's a name I haven't heard. Bitcoin to Valhalla. I'll take it. Hey, at least something would be happening if it goes to Valhalla. Total. We can look at total. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you, Tom. Google looking to fill the short and close out my long right now today. That's too early. I almost want to put the victory arrow on it. What's up, Novocaine? You've heard that line. Getting wrecked in crypto. It's incredible how nothing is happening. We can still get wrecked in crypto. It's remarkable. Piro, you hope I'm fine. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. The market's not doing so hot. What's up, Munzo? Welcome. Google about to fill. Like, this is happening today. Hi, everybody. What's up, Tonzi? Your worst nightmare, Pukas, boss man. What's up? Mo Chaos. Balgans. Got some new names today. Appreciate the new names tuning in. If you haven't liked the channel, follow, tap the screen, subscribe. Go ahead and do that now. Jump in our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. It's free. Best way to keep up with our lives. What's up, Allie? Your worst nightmare? I think Google will sweep its daily low. Yeah, dude, I think Google's going to hit 338 today. Really, the decision for me on Google is, does it bounce here and return to the neckline at 370, or does it keep going and paint this like higher high, lower low megaphone-esque pattern? Your finger's tired today, Psycho. That finger is going to be ripped soon. You're going to be like doing heavy weights with that tapping finger. All right. Crwv looks terrible. I wouldn't touch Crwv, but hey, Pickle gifting the memberships. I wouldn't touch Crwv, but Crwv did fill 4.8 cent long. I don't think this is a good idea. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that, Pickle. Google could test 316 today. I mean, Sky's the limit. You know, bottom sky's the limit. I'll give away 5 as well. There you go. I'll match you, Pickle. Boom. Need a relief rally? I need a relief rally. God, I need anything. Crwv could. I don't know. The whole Trump like had a whole thing with crypto.com and they unburned, right? I told you Crwv's done very shady stuff with their coins before. They'll do it again. They unburned a bunch of coins to like give to Liberty Finance, and then now they're like done. Total solar eclipse in a few hours. Interested to watch the market? Yo, what's up, Steve-O? Super shady. Interested to see what markets do? People will be busy out looking up at the sun. They won't be watching their trades. Perfect time to get them wrecked. Lyft. Ooh, Lyft might be at an entry soon. You can see Lyft from like 613 backtest previous resistance from Thursday the 16th, targeting 1937. Solar conspiracy. The sun is a hoax. That's the real conspiracy. Sun's not real. There's no such thing as the sun. No one's ever seen it. No one's ever heard of it. No one's ever seen it. It's not real. Careful, I'll get too many TikTok viewers if I start yelling about the sun being fake. What's up, Torb? Evil. What's up, bros? Can they believe in the moon? Exactly. I've seen the moon. See, that's the thing. I've seen the moon. The moon is real. Everybody knows the moon is real. But no one's ever seen the sun, you know? The sun's fake. The sun's not real. It's a hoax. The earth is not flat, but the sun is flat because it's a hoax. Flat sun theory, baby. What's up, Braden? God, you followed? You should not follow while I'm yelling about that. What's up, Black and Dagger? Dude, TikTok viewership like immediately goes up when I start yelling about the sun being fake. People are like, what? What? That's bad. That's bad. Welcome to the world of attention. Jumped off the market 1 to 2 on Zao for gold, long or short. I was looking at a short at 330 or 43.81, but man, I'm not feeling comfortable with this candle today. I guess that long did TP there, 8.4%. I think gold, if anything, is just rallying off of like the hopium that the Fed will be dovish. That this CPI print and unemployment numbers will give the Fed a more soft touch. Flat sun theory. It's real. Hashtag flat sun. It's not a theory. It's not a theory. It's real. It's not sun theory. It's real. The sun is flat and it's not real. The earth is not flat. It's very globular. It's like a beach ball. But the sun is flat. And it's not real. Let me pull up this blank chart. Dude, I should just start yelling about crap on TikTok because our viewership literally went up. The most it's gone up in the stream just by 2 seconds of yelling about the sun being flat. The sun's flat and everybody knows it. Everyone knows that the sun is flat. I don't know what they taught you in school, but it's flat. Bed Bath & Beyond getting wrecked. Down below April's lows, I guess, looking to retest all-time lows. No, not all-time lows. Earlier 25. Handsome enough to be on screen. Got the radio voice and I'm handsome. Dang, double threat. Triple threat. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. There's a lot of not so kind words out there, so appreciated. Bed Bath & Beyond looks terrible. I don't know who's buying Bed Bath & Beyond stock, but you're crazy. Time to shift. Yep, I'm pivoting from crypto to conspiracies. It's the only way to save me familia. GME breaking down. $10 shorter term target. I don't even know if that's the bottom. These people like to be like, oh, Bitcoin, people got rugged or whatever, you know, like, oh, it's so bad. And then you look at GME, more people got wrecked on GME than Bitcoin. And like they may never get out. Like Bitcoin was what GME people like thought they were buying. Like if we buy our shares, we'll like make it scarce and like then we'll take them off exchange. Like, yeah, that was never going to work when the company just prints more. It's never going to happen. XRP broke under $1 briefly. I don't think that's the bottom for that, though. Every picture you've ever seen of the sun is flat. I know, I told you. US 2-year yield, or 5-year yield, not caring about this inflation print, not convinced. The 5-year yield seeing 4.5%. Oh, that's a breakout. The rate cut boys are going to be back. You can already hear them whispering. Render heading for $1 probably. That's interesting. SpaceX versus Tesla with this little rally on SpaceX gaining some ground back to the 618. SpaceX, I think, is going to continue to outpace Tesla. Maybe time to pivot. Do I do collaborations? What do you mean, man? Not really. XLM. Dark Horse. What's up, Pyrex? All the hacks and exploits we're seeing in crypto long term. Those nothing new, dude. I think there has never been. I don't know. There's always been hacks and exploits. Right now, what's happening, what people are feeling right now in crypto is not the actual hacks and exploits. Obviously, my heart goes out to you if you were somehow the people that lost money on Cold Card. I've never heard of anyone actually buying Cold Card, not in real life. You are feeling a coordinated like FUD campaign. I'm telling you right now, I don't know who the source is. I allege that the most likely actors, though I have no evidence of them, most likely actors are going to be like just Ripple as a company. They have for years put out just weird Bitcoin FUD, like, I don't know, as if somehow that will help them. My other guesses would be like Roger Ver or Craig Wright, like the BCH-BSV forks. They also for years have put out really weird, like anti-Bitcoin, kind of like anti-crypto rhetoric. And I think this whole BIP 110 thing is being boosted by the exact same people. On top of the cold card fiasco, same thing. Like nobody had ever heard of cold card really, and all of a sudden it's like the biggest topic. And yeah, it sucks if people lose money. I don't want that to happen. But it pales in comparison to other things similar. Like think about how many billions are lost every year to pig butchering scams. Billions. Does that matter? Does that, put a dent on crypto? Does it matter to crypto? No. It certainly sucks. I don't want it to happen. But no. It doesn't, just has nothing to do with it. Long term just doesn't matter. Hey, Pro, how to trade money? How to money trade, Romeo? That's a good question, man. Money trade, baby. What's up, Quickly Profit? How you doing, bro? Thanks for following. Ben McKenzie? I don't know. I don't know who these people are, dude. PACB. Okay, because you've been waiting the whole time, Mr. Jedi. PACB. Pacific Biosciences of California. Can't say this is my favorite one. Looks like it's gonna trade to $1. Loves being oversold. Just broke May's low. These are not the greatest signs, honestly. Yearly low at 85 cents. I think that's the logical target. If this is a big fake out, I mean, I could see it up at like 463 to retest the 200 week, but man, this is not the best chart. You're the first investor in my coin, Krishna. Nah, dude, I've never put out a coin, and I never will. Nah, it's too scammy. It's too shitty. Every time anyone I know or have ever heard of anything similar to that, like influencers putting out coins, non-influencers putting out coins, everybody gets wrecked. You know, it's like nobody wins except for only I would win in that scenario. I'm good on that. I'm not that desperate yet. I believe Bitcoin will save me. It's okay. What's up, Folsom Hodel? I didn't see you, brother. Good to see you. Oop. Continues feet to live. We were talking. Think about HBAR and Grayscale, Chris Dunn. Hey, Grayscale's old news. I don't think anybody gives a shit about Grayscale and crypto anymore. I don't know what you're referring to exactly, but it's probably nothing. It's probably nothing burger, realistically. You could have named any asset though, like Bitcoin and Grayscale, or like whatever. You know, Ethereum. And, you know, I would have said the same thing. Probably nothing burger. Crypto being so bad in the bear market is totally normal. Honestly, no. This is. You had this reward coin? Nah. You couldn't buy it. That Joe was talking about something from so long ago, and it was just something I was like dropping on people. It wasn't. Actually, it wasn't even my coin. No, that actually wasn't my coin. I know what you're talking about. I just had my friend. We had like a bunch of it. It was some nothing. We were giving it out for people using like our traffic funnel. It was a whole thing. But no, it wasn't my coin. I didn't make it. I didn't have the whole thing. Or I didn't like create the supply. I didn't even have like a big percent of it. I just gave it out. Trump coin rip. Exactly. PA worse than bank holiday. Grayscale pulled out of HBAR. Well, like I said, probably a nothing burger, but I will give you, Chris, that's probably positive. More positive than if it was like Grayscale said they love HBAR and they're gonna buy a bunch. Like, that's probably more positive that they pulled out. Gamblers, that's right, Radius. Price action worse than the bank holiday? Hella worse, dude. This is... Honestly, I hate when Bitcoin goes down, but I just prefer to just dump. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's get out of this range. Let's do something. Let's get it spicy again. What's up, Dave? Check Harmony token. Yeah, Harmony had some, like, whatever amount. I don't know. Hack. Dude, that's all of these things. All of these coins that people thought were like, this is going to be the next thing. Like, they're all just centralized crap. And they're all just going to do this. Whether it's a hack or an intentional exploit, you know, it doesn't matter. They're all going to do this. None of them are going to hold any value because they're meaningless. They're not valuable. Like, they don't have the things that make them valuable. That hack really did wreck them, though. Down 52%. This was trading at 37 cents at one point. It went down to 0.0006 cents earlier this week for a total of 99.84%. All the trash cans. Flat sun solar system. You guys got it, Enlightened Goat. Now you're on to it. You're on to it. Flat sun. The earth is round. The sun is flat. The solar system is flat too somehow. Yeah, probably inside liquidity exit. I agree. What I was saying is, no, this bear market actually is not super normal in that sense. Yes, bear markets are very boring at times, especially during the summer. But this has been by far the weirdest, slowest, most painful, boring time in crypto I've ever experienced. This has been incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. Oh, Tom, my bad. I didn't look at total for you. Total hasn't moved, but yep. Yep, it's all flat, baby. Except for the Earth. Everything else in the universe is flat. The Earth is not. It's my hill I'll die on. Total also. No change on total from, I don't know, Wednesday when we looked at it. Total looks more bottomy to me. That's what she said. Than Bitcoin. Which doesn't really add up. Doesn't really make sense. But nothing going on this chart, just watching the paint dry. But we're doing it together. I appreciate you. I don't know how many cents Tatooine had. Not enough, or too many. Probably. Here we go. Apple. I didn't even look at Apple. 228. Let's go. Come fill us. Slowly but surely. Forget profits. I just want to break even. Dude, forgetting breaking even. I just want the price to move. I don't even care. I don't even care what direction. I don't care if I lose money. What's up, goods? Doodle. 60% down suggestions. Bitcoin. DCA Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but that's the advice I've given all 7 years. It's the only advice I've been giving for 7 years that has aged correctly. Has aged well. Honestly. Don't put all your eggs in the Bitcoin basket. And maybe in the crypto Bitcoin basket, but not in your investing basket. I would definitely DCA into major indices, major businesses. I don't know. Not just crypto. I wouldn't recommend it, even though that's my life. It's not needed. It's way too much risk. Because Bitcoin is right now breaking under this trend line. That's not great. Boring, though. Hella boring. Make sure you guys have joined the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. It's free. Join it. Join it right now. This second. Discord.gg/TomCrown. It's mandatory. You should also sign up with our exchange partners in the video description below. BYDFi. They're a great exchange. You see me trading on them all the time. Not so much lately because, well, I just haven't been doing many trades lately. But they're great. Should sign up. TomCrown.io/BYDFI. Make sure you've liked and subscribed for the next live stream. We'll definitely be live Friday, maybe before if something really spicy happens. I appreciate you tuning in today. It's been a boring day, but we had some fun together. Remember, the universe is flat, the sun is flat, and it's fake. There is a solar eclipse at 2 p.m., I think, in like 2 hours in Europe. Let me know if you guys see it. If you do end up catching it, I guess you can't take a picture of it, but share your experience in the Discord. Let me know how it is. I'm going to sign off here. You guys keep it cool, keep it classy, and we'll be live again soon. Peace out.